Why the f does XDefiant not have a platinum trophy? Like, there's not a single reason for it not to have one. So instead of getting another platinum trophy to add to the collection, we'll be getting all 13 trophies and getting the 100% instead. However, these trophies were stupidly easy to obtain, but them being easy does not equate to that being a painless experience. Because although this game is incredibly fun, it does not come without some major issues, but we'll go over them once we get there, as it first starts with me waiting for this game to ever release. Because if you didn't know, this game was looking like it was never going to come out. Multiple closed betas, test sessions, and who knows what else, this game never got a release date for years. However, on the 21st of May, that changed and the game released. Although you still couldn't play it, but okay, we'll let that slide. Thankfully, I played a few of those betas, which meant I had a tiny bit of experience already. That came in handy when I booted up the game for the first time and got my first trophy within a minute of my first match.
First trophy. Streaker.
That trophy unlocked after I went on a kill streak of 5 or higher. And during that match, I was playing with a few other trophy tubers you may recognize, which meant I got the trophy Party Player for completing a match in a party.
Party Player.
Not a very hard trophy to earn, which is the case for most of these early trophies. There are some more grindy and more challenging ones later on, but we'll have to get the easy ones out of the way first. Which meant that only 2 games later, I got another trophy for getting 50 kills.
Exterminator.
Then the trophy for dealing 10,000 damage.
A damage dealer trophy.
And the trophy for getting 50 assists.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
These trophies all came from just playing the game naturally for an hour or two, but the next few were some that I needed to actually go out of my way for. First up was to play in each of the 5 different game modes. This was easy to do, but I needed to make sure we were playing each game mode at least once. The game modes are all similar to what you may already recognize from Call of Duty, for example. There's your regular 3 flag domination, you have Occupy, also known as Hardpoint, Hotshot, which is basically just a spin on kill confirmed, although I wasn't really a fan of this mode. But the ones I really did enjoy were Escort and Zone Control. After trying all 5 of the game modes, I was given the trophy Grand Tour, and was now allowed to play whatever game mode I liked best, and that was Escort. The great thing about this mode is that the maps are made specifically for it, which means it is, in my eyes, by far the most balanced game mode. Sure, there are definitely some challenging choke points that are a pain to push through, but it makes it all the more rewarding when that does happen. It was also in this game mode that I got another trophy. It wasn't to do with the game mode itself, but with the factions that I was playing with. As XDefiant is a hero-based shooter, there's factions you can choose from which are based on various Ubisoft franchises, like Watch Dogs, Splinter Cell, The Division, Ghost Recon, Far Cry, and even Rainbow Six Siege. They all have various abilities ranging from wall hacks to stim shots, so I don't want to get into the whole balancing issue, but some of these abilities are way too strong. We do not need wall hacks in FPS games, let alone when the whole team can see those. We do not need default incendiary bullets, or the dumbest thing of all, the spider bot. I mean, just look at this and tell me that this isn't dumb. Like, bro, come on. Anyway, the class that I was using the most at the beginning was the Libertad from Far Cry. This gave me the ability to take a stim shot, so every time I got shot, I popped the stim shot, and after healing 5,000 health, I got the Defense Player trophy. Now, because all of the trophies I unlocked thus far had a clear trophy description, I had no issues with these whatsoever. But that was until I approached the High Fivest trophy, because I had no clue what to do. Me and the other trophy tubers were discussing about what the exact requirement was, which was give and receive 20 high fives, but how? Did we have to press a button at the same time standing next to each other, or was it to do with something in the lobby or the emote in the battle pass? To be honest, we had no clue. Maybe it had to do with the emojis you can use before respawning. Well, that wasn't it either, because none were correct, but we were close. It was to do with the emojis at the end of the round, as that's when you can give a thumbs up to a player on your team that you think deserves to get noticed for their hard work or good performance. But it turns out that the thumbs up you give and receive are the ones that count for the trophy, which makes no flippin' sense because the trophy says high five, but the thing that counts is a thumbs up. I mean, those are the struggles of playing games on day 1 without a trophy guide. But anyway, after sending and receiving 20 of those, I got the trophy and was ready to move on to one of the most difficult trophies on the list. That trophy was for finishing 3 matches as the best player with the most score, also known as the MVP, which obviously proved no difficulty to me. I mean, I don't want to brag, but this is probably next to the 5 kill streak trophy, the most difficult one on the list. However, because there's no skill-based matchmaking in this game, even an average player will get this done before the grindy trophies at the end. It's not uncommon to have bad games, as some lobbies can be quite sweaty, but most of the time you should be able to manage well enough. If you are struggling with this, I recommend you play as the Phantom faction and play shields as much as you can whilst focusing on really playing the objective, which is exactly what I did, and I inevitably got the MVP trophy done in no time.
Trophy.
And just so you realize how easy this game and trophy list has been so far, all of the trophies I earned up until now have come from the first 3 hours of playing this game. And when I logged back in the next day, it only took me 2 games to unlock another 2 trophies. One for winning 10 matches, and another which was a tad more difficult. I mentioned earlier that each of the factions have various abilities. Well, of course they would also have ultras, right? Ultras are basically like a super strong ability that you only get about once a match. To get the trophy Buzzkill, I had to cancel 5 enemy ultras. This can only be done by eliminating that player whilst they are using them, and that can genuinely be very difficult. The Libertad Ultra has insanely strong healing power, making the player almost impossible to down. The Phantom has a shotgun with a shield around it, making it very difficult to push. I mean, it's just a bunch of things that make it a rare occurrence for you to eliminate someone whilst they are using it. So if you can't beat them, join them. I was using the Echelon faction, which has wall hacks and a super strong pistol, and the one class that is easy to get an ultra elimination on is the Cleaner faction, because it's arguably just the weakest in all ways. And so when those 2 things line up against each other, I shot the Cleaner that was using an ultra whilst using my own ultra, and got my 5th and last ultra cancel to get the Buzzkill trophy. That left just 2 trophies before getting the 100%. 2 trophies, and I haven't even put 6 hours into the game yet. It's quite the contrast from the finals, which I recently platinumed, where it took me 350 hours to plat, but for this we were already 90% of the way there. However, we shouldn't celebrate too early because sure, it wasn't going to take 350 hours, but we definitely still had some grinding to do. And most importantly, that was for the 2 trophies to reach level 50 and a weapon to level 50, which is the one I tackled first. There's a few guns in the game that are objectively better than the rest, but overall I would say the game is very well balanced. Except for one class of weapons, which I'll touch on in a bit, there wasn't one gun that was insanely strong above the rest. It was actually pretty well balanced. I'm usually a little more of a passive player, so getting up close and personal with SMGs wasn't really my playstyle. So instead I chose to go for ARs and decided on the ACR as my gun to level up. A very fun gun to use and one that would be strong enough to take me through the 50 levels for the trophy. Leveling up weapons was going at a decent pace. It's not crazy fast though, but luckily I partnered with Ubisoft and they provided me access to the battle pass, which included some double weapon XP to level up even quicker. So big W Ubisoft. Some double XP weekends were released to level up those weapons even quicker. This helped so much to just grind through the weapon levels. It went just crazy fast. I was averaging about a level or 2 per game, which was insane, and again within no time I already reached level 50 on the ACR and got the trophy Weapon Master. That meant just 1 trophy remained before not getting the Platinum trophy. However, as you just saw, I was only level 27. That meant I still had to grind another 23 levels before reaching level 50. And this is where the majority of the time went into. It was just a plain old grind to the end, racking up ever so slowly level after level. The good thing, however, about this is that I could do and play with whatever I wanted. I didn't notice a specific loadout, game mode, or faction that gave me more XP, so I was just having fun. Not having any skill-based matchmaking and only coming up against players with the same input as me really made for a chill experience. Sometimes I could go back to my pro level standards and dominate a lobby, whilst the next I could get pooped on by some current actual pros. Thankfully, it was just the general fluid movement and crispy satisfying gunplay that really kept me going. Which is why, as usual, I tried to spice things up by going for master level camos on some of my most used weapons, such as the ACR, M16 and MP7, slowly making use of the multiple double XP weekends. But this is also where I noticed some of the flaws of this game, because the snipers were insanely overpowered, just blatantly overpowered. It's so easy to one-shot someone when using a sniper, it's just dumb easy. It becomes so frustrating shooting someone with a sniper 4 or 5 times just for them to still one-shot one-shot you. They were so broken, and put that together with the horrendous netcode aka desync where you get killed behind walls so often, this combination really made for some incredibly frustrating moments.
What? Bro, what a joke, man.
Thankfully, they are already working on fixing this and already have made some significant improvements already, which meant I could just continue my grind to level 50 that I so badly needed. It definitely took a few more hours than I was expecting, as I was at around 35 hours in and approaching the final levels. So I booted up the stream again to play the last few matches I needed, hopped into the lobby with a couple of awesome channel members to grind out what was left, and when the game ended, I got my last trophy for the 100%. Let's go! Let's go, boys! W's in the chat, W's in the chat. Big thanks to Ubisoft for providing me with some of the awesome content, and if you want to see me platinum another shooter that took me 5 months to get, then check out this video. And that's it. Yeah.